Hello, so in today's video I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the March edition of the Abominable book club box. Again, it's arrived quite late this month. It arrived yesterday and I think my postman actually tried to deliver it to me, I think it was on Saturday, so it would have been within March, like literally the last week of March, but yeah, I wasn't in, so they had to come back. So yeah, again, it's going to be another late unboxing unfortunately, but we'll see what we have in this month's box. I didn't recognise it at first because it's not their usual box that it comes in. So normally they have their own branded box which has the Abominable logo on it, but it's just a plain cardboard box. It's actually a little bit bashed up. That might have been the postman's, well, probably was the postman's fault. But yeah, it's a different box this month. I'm not sure why. It does still have the Full Guts sticker, and I haven't seen any spoilers or anybody else's videos yet, so I have no idea what's inside this box. So yeah, let's open it up and see what was in the March edition. So yeah, this is what it looks like. So as always, we have the second-hand book on top. You get a second-hand book which is different for everybody, and then you normally get two other books by like indie authors or new releases or what have you. But I'm just going to pick the first things up that I see, and I'm going to start with this. It looks like a badge, like a patch, and it says "Protect Our Cryptids," and it has a Bigfoot on the front there. I like that. And yeah, it's a little, I think it's got an iron-on thing on the back, so you can iron it on or sew it on to whatever you would like. But yeah, I like that. That's cool. Protect our cryptids with a Bigfoot. But yeah, I like that. Every now and then I go on a little, I get like different obsessions online, like things I like to research. Like recently it's been Mount Everest. I've been consuming so many documentaries and videos on Mount Everest footage, but before that it was actually on Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings in America. I just started binge watching loads of videos. I just found it fun. So yeah, I do like that patch. I will definitely find something to put that on. I'm going to move the second-hand one to the side because I like to do that last. And what should I pick up next? Let's try this. It says cocoa, so I'm guessing it's a chocolate bar. And yeah, milk chocolate bar. I'm not going to try and pronounce this here. I'm guessing this is the brand and what it is. I really like the packaging. That's really nice, and it's quite a heavy chocolate bar. So this is, okay, it's Welsh. So it says Bar Broth chocolate bar, inspired by Welsh classic, rich fruit and subtle spice. Okay, so it's some kind of like traditional Welsh chocolate. I like that, and I'm guessing this other language here is Welsh. So that's cool. And like I said, it feels like quite a hefty chocolate bar. I always love chocolate, all kinds of chocolate, so I am definitely happy for that. Let's have a little peek, see what it looks like inside. Yeah, just a nice standard chocolate bar, so I will be enjoying that as our snack. Next we'll have a look at the drinks. Oh, it's a different sticker as well. So normally you have the sticker with the teeth, and this month it's just a plain black one. I wonder if they're going to be changing some of their packaging, maybe? Maybe they just didn't have it ordered in for this month. I'm not sure. But the first drink I pulled out is this Lion's coffee bag. I normally give these to my husband. He really likes them. I don't drink much coffee. We then have a Yorkshire tea. We then have a lemongrass and ginger tea. I actually really like lemon and ginger teas. We then have the Nescafe cappuccinos, which I always really enjoy. And last but not least, the Galaxy Hot Chocolate. So a nice mixture of teas, coffees and hot chocolates there. So next, let's get on to the book. And I recognise this author. This is an author that is in the Abominable Book Club quite a bit. Eric LaRocca. And this is At Dark I Become Loathsome. Now, I've read 2 books by Eric LaRocca. One was a short story collection, which I believe I still have on my shelves somewhere. I can't see it right now as I'm looking. And another one I know I unhauled because I read it and it wasn't quite my thing. I wonder if it'll say his other works in the front here. As I can say, what was it? Also by Eric Walker. Oh yeah, things that have gotten worse since we last spoke and other misfortunes. That was the first one I read by this author and I quite liked. And then I think it was Everything the Darkness Eats I wasn't so keen on. So kind of hit or miss author, very intriguing stories. They're always quite twisted with very dark characters. But let's see what this one says. So it says, a single line of text glowing in the darkness of the internet, written by Ashley, who has often thought that, and worse, in the years since his wife died and his young son disappeared. But this piece of grief is not for Ashley. It's for those he can help. Ashley has constructed a peculiar trial for those who desire to die. For those whose desire to die is at war and they're yearning to live a better life. Struggling to overcome his never-ending grief, one night Ashley connects with Jinx, who spins a tale both revolting and fascinating. This begins a new relationship that traps the men in a tightening spiral of painful revolution. Along hidden secrets are dragged, kicking and screaming, into the light. Only through the pain can we find healing. Only through death can we find life. Yeah, I'm not really sure. That doesn't give much away about the storyline. So you have a grieving man who has lost his wife and his child, and he pairs up with this other person, and I don't know. It seems like it's going to be kind of a working through their grief kind of story, into starting a new life maybe. So yeah, this sounds interesting. I'm definitely going to give it a go. This author's work does intrigue me. It is a little bit hit or miss, these stories. Like I said, I liked one book by this author. I didn't like another one. So yeah, I will see where this goes. There's not a huge amount given away in the synopsis there. But yeah, it says brutal, breathtaking, beautifully written. It says it's disturbing. Meteoroscadal of a novel. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I will definitely give that one a go. The next book that we have here is by David Barnett, and it's called A Scuttler's Cove. I like the cover with the crab on the front. So it says a seaside. Oh, it's like a seaside horror. Ooh, okay. This sounds intriguing. I like the sound of this one already a little bit more than the other one, just because I said I kind of know that author. So it says Scuttler's Cove is a working village in Cornwall where life has gone on uninterrupted for centuries, until it is discovered by the rich. Now the harbourfront cottages have been snapped up by second homers, and the locals can barely afford to live in their own town. It's a very different place for Merrin, returning for the first time 12 years after the death of her mother. For for there are forces at play in the village that she could never have imagined. Something old and terrifying is awakening beneath the town's hollowed grounds. And it comes a horror the residents have fought for generations to keep secret. Yeah, this one definitely sounds like it's going to be more up my alley than the other one. It's set in Cornwall, on a seaside beachy town with some disgruntled locals, some kind of horror. I wonder if it's going to be like folklore-y, because it could be. It does sound a little bit like that. So yeah, I've not read from this author before. So yeah, this one I'm very interested in. I am also interested in the other book, but this one definitely more so. So let's see what else we have in the book, in this book box, sorry. We have a bookmark for the Eric LaRocca book. Oh yeah, that's the other books we had. We had that one and that one. Everything the Darkness Eats was the other one that I didn't enjoy so much. I think I've got a full review of both of these two up on my channel. But yes, we will see how I feel about the next one. We then have the Abominable Book Club bookmark with the spoiler card there, and then it has the story on the back. We then have this bookmark which says, if it's got murder or monsters, I'll read it. Yeah, pretty accurate. Murder or monsters. So yeah, I quite like that one. That's a nice bookmark. We then have a signed book plate, which as it starts with D, I'm guessing it's for this book, the David Barnett book. So we have a signed plate for him, and then we also have a signed plate for Eric LaRocca. So those two will be going into their books. Let me just double check. Is that paper the last thing? Oh, I can pick this up. So yes, we then have a note from Eric LaRocca concerning his story. I will have a look at this when I read the book. I'll probably add it into the review. But yeah, it's just like a little accompanying letter towards the book. So yeah, I can already see there it says it's going to be some sort of story about fitting in. He says they're growing up as a queer kid in a small town in Connecticut. I often felt like I didn't fit in. I often felt like I was speaking a certain type of language that nobody else knows. So I wonder if there's like themes of that throughout this book. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to read too much into that now. Otherwise I'll get too into it and then the video will be too long. So I'm going to open up this second hand book and see what one I got this month. I've been having pretty good luck with my second hand ones recently. So yes, let's open it up with the scissors and see what we have. I've literally just finished a 5-star read, and I've been struggling to find something else to pick up. So I think I'm going to pick up, what was it called again? Scuttler's Cove. I think I'm going to start that today, to be honest, because yeah, I'm on a little bit of a horror kick. Oh, this one looks familiar. So this is The Snowman by Joe Nesbo. Pretty sure this is a film. And I'm pretty sure my dad had this book. I can't remember if I've ever read it, but it looks really, really familiar. So I know I've been around this book before. Very familiar author. It's a bit of a chunky book. A young boy wakes to find his mother missing. Their house is empty, but outside in the garden he sees his mother's favourite scarf wrapped around the neck of a snowman. And it says Harry Hole, and his team begin the investigation. They uncover an alarming number of wives and mothers have gone missing over the years. The second woman disappears. It seems that Harry's worst suspicions are confirmed. For the first time in his career, Harry finds himself confronted with a serial killer operating on his home turf. So yeah, it's a crime thriller, and yeah, quite a chunky one. Like I said, I've definitely seen this before and it does sound familiar, but I can't remember a whole lot about it. So yeah, if anybody knows more, then leave it in the comments down below. But also an intriguing one. So yeah, those are the books we got this month. I got The Snowman by Jo Nesbo, Scuttler's Cove, which is the first one I'm definitely going to read. And then we have At Dark I Become Loathsome by Eric LaRocca. So yeah, some interesting books this month. Like I said, I'm going to start Scuttler's Cove today, I think, because it sounds like it's going to grip me the most. And then I'm definitely going to give the other two a go. I've heard of The Snowman, and like I said, I've already read books by Eric LaRocca before. One okay, one was a miss, so I will see how we get on with this one. Maybe it'll be another miss, or maybe I'll love it, you never know. I am open to giving it a go. So we got those 3 books, we got the 3 bookmarks, the selection of drinks, we got the chocolate, we got the patch, which I really like, and we got the signed book plates, which I like to stick directly into the novels. So that's everything that we got in this month's book box. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have you heard of any of these books? Have you read any of these books? Let me know your thoughts. The only one I've heard of is obviously this one. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Have you read the other books by Eric LaRocca? Is he one of your favourite horror writers? Yeah, let me know in the comments. So as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye guys.